Hello all, this is for the Course Navigation Forum. This is Perry Kirk, and hopefully this won't be too much of a disjointed walk through my course, Introduction to Art. This is the online version. I teach 2 face-to-face classes and 1 online class a semester. So here we go. On the home page, I always use a welcome introduction kind of message. You still see it at the top, including a link to the orientation video that I urge everybody to watch because that walks them through some things in this course here, but also detailed walk through my syllabus. And I've also started highly recommending that they sign up for the notifications feature. And by the way, you're looking at D2L Desire to Learn as the learning management system, and it has a notifications feature that will let them know by text and or email when they have deadlines approaching. Of course, you see on the home page we also have a calendar with due dates. And in addition to this stuff on the home page, I urge them to start by looking at the content area, which is up here, because that's where they can access virtually all of the content that they're going to be doing. So as I scroll down, you can see the different modules on the left. I don't use a Start Here module, although after doing this course, I think I'll probably switch back to that. And then I just have each module titled by the week and the date that we'll be doing. I think that's more effective than the title of the chapter that we're working on or unit, because I just think having the date and the week is more informative. And of course, in any one of those modules, then you have links to the activities that they'll be doing that week. In this course, they have 2 quizzes per week. This one's a 10-question quiz. This is a 5-question quiz. The second one is on content from videos that they watch about the theme of that. I don't know if there's anything else really necessarily to say there. I don't like or use comprehensive exams, midterms or finals, so there's no modules in there for those. Communication, from the very start, I urge them to communicate with me via the email tool in the learning management system. I've been told by the University System of Georgia online system here called eCore. I teach for them also, and I've been told by eCore that in order to remain in compliance with FERPA law, that I'm supposed to communicate with my students through the learning management system email, not through my faculty Gmail account. I also just happen to think that it's a whole lot more efficient because, again, I teach 3 sections of this class. If students email me in Gmail, I don't know which section they're in. It's harder to keep track because it's mixed together with all the other email I get. This way, the subject is bold when I first arrive and is not bold after I click on it. I can tell if I've emailed them back, and then I can look at the different sections to see who's emailed me. What else? Under communications is also discussions. We do 4 discussions in this class. As you can see, just various titles. One's a kind of typical mandatory intro, tell me about yourself thing. Of course, I date them from beginning to end, have descriptions in the instructions about the minimum maximum word count that they have to have for the post and for the reply. In this particular post, I think I talked about this in my self-review, that they access web-based reading in addition to that week's text. And like I said, I do quizzes every week. I am very careful to name them in a methodical kind of way. So, each week you have quiz. The quiz number goes up sequentially. The 2 quizzes that they do each week is named the same way. So deities and places of worship. For instance, power and politics. So I try to keep the naming protocol real consistent throughout. I guess The exception here is the history of photography. It's because it's not actually a chapter that's in the textbook. We also do 4 writing assignments. Excuse me. We do 4 writing assignments. Now, as I mentioned before, they can access through the content area or they can access it here. And this is also the Dropbox for the course. This is one area I think I need to be more clear about. That of course they can access it over here, but they need to submit the file over here. I don't think I'm as clear as I could be about that. I just switched over to View as Student so that I can point out a few things here too. For one thing, notifications on the desktop that anytime they have new email, I urge them to check their email very first thing every time that they log in to check for announcements. And so with grades, I think this is pretty clear that they can see what's due and the order that it's due, how many points it's worth, once it's graded, how many points they earned out of that total, the resources that they have available to them. At the library, they have tutoring services if they want. The University Writing Center and the Center for Academic Success are this is advising and of course help with writing. Sorry for jumping around here a bit. I'm going to go back to the content area and syllabus. This course has pointed out that there are a lot of things about the syllabus that need to be added, or that information needs to be added in a Start Here module. One thing, well, a couple things I can mention. I recently decided to start having a separate schedule. There's one of my dogs barking. Partly because this course is very heavy on content, that they need to watch the video content, and so I made that in a separate schedule that they can have open on their desktop, as opposed to having the syllabus attached to it. I found that some students didn't go all the way to the bottom and find the schedule, so I had to explain that to them. Also, our campus is working on figuring out accessibility policies, and I'll soon have an accessible version of the syllabus. This one currently is not. So I've probably left something out, but that's probably long enough, so thanks for your attention.